All right. Kids World Podcast, episode number I lost count. And this is take one. Action. Start scene. Filming. All right. Welcome back to the Kids World Podcast. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Abbott.
Yes, this is Abbott.
I didn't say that very clear.
Hi, Abbott.
This is my guest.
I'm Jewel.
Oh, Jewel, tell us something about yourself here.
I'm 10 years old, and my last name is Weseman.
Does 10 years old put you in, fourth grade?
Yeah.
Fourth grade. How's the school year been going?
I don't really like it.
Nobody really likes school.
I just don't like math is the worst part.
Really? What are you working on? I'm just curious, sorry.
I do teaching textbooks, and it's
what kind of problems are they giving you right now?
they're giving me a bunch of times and number lines.
Yeah, I used to be absolutely horrible at math.
Really?
Now I'm good at math, but I don't like it at all.
I never really liked math, but I was good at it.
Anyways, enough about Napoleon. Anyways, enough about Napoleon Dynamite. I brought the guest, so I'm expecting that you have a scripture.
Why would you expect that? Go prepared?
Yeah.
Well, I am, so that's good. Here I got it in Genesis 6:9 through 22.
We already got it. Flip to our Bibles.
Yeah. I like keeping
Put it on the bookmark.
Right where it starts. So
I didn't have a sticky note, so I just had a pencil.
Sticky notes right there. Sticky
no.
note. Post-mortem. But yeah, Exodus chapter 6.
Oh, I see it.
Right on. 9 through 22. Noah and the flood. That's what we're talking about today. Anything before we start? You guys have any knowledge, tidbit, something you want us to highlight ahead of time?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah? Okay.
We're good to go straight in.
Let's dive right in then. Let's just dump right into it. And this is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time. He had walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. Please make yourself an ark of cypress wood, and make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are going to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening for 1 cubit height all around. Put a door in the side of the ark, and make a lower, middle, and upper deck. I'm going to bring a flood water on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has breath of life in it. Everything on earth will perish, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons, and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 birds of every kind, and 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You're going to take every kind of food that there is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. And you know what? I think that last verse right there, Noah did everything just as God commanded him, really shows the commitment that he had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's kind of a dark story, because everybody on earth dies except for Noah. But, and God, he was committed to earth, but earth wasn't committed to him, because everybody was, mocking Noah for believing in God. So I feel like when God wiped out all the people, it's like when you're building something with Legos, as we will later, and then you look at it and you're like, this doesn't look very good, so you just destroy it and start over. I feel like that's kind of what God did, but he left one certain piece that he loved most so that whatever he was going to build next, whatever he was going to fix, he could still have that piece there.
Yeah, and it's like another verse in the Bible says, like, he's the potter and we're the clay, right? And it's up to him to decide whether or not we're to be decorative pieces or pieces for common use, and whatever purpose he has for us is the purpose he has for us, right?
Yep.
And that's what we're called to do. But also, as the potter, right, if he's molding the clay, and clay in this case being the whole earth, if he's molding that and it becomes corrupt, and the people that he's made has corrupted that clay, right? Well, now he can just kind of smush it and start all over again,
Yeah.
right? Actually, you know what I love about the story of Noah and the ark? Animals.
The animals, yes.
What are some of your guys' favorite animals?
Oh, that's hard to say. I don't exactly have a certain favorite animal, but I guess kind of the ones that I deal with every day because I live on a farm. So really, I see like I have chickens, cats, dogs, and cows.
Chickens are stinky.
Yeah.
I don't like
But
chickens.
but you know, that's kind of how God is too, because we're like the stink. No, we're no, God is not stinky. I'm not saying that, but
I'm just gaslighting you.
no, it's like
Sorry.
it's like we're the chickens and we're the stinky ones because we have all that sin in our lives and
That's
we're
genius.
stinky and smelly and we're constantly getting the poop stuck on our foot, which gets us into trouble.
Dragging it around the house.
Yeah. And then God is
That's
like
funny.
the farmer who comes in, and even though
After us.
and even though we're all stinky and smelly, he still loves us. He still gives us our food and our water. And he gives us what we
lives.
Yeah, and it's like this, like the Bible is kind of like our food because it's kind of what sustains us and keeps us committed to God. Because also, like another application with my animals, we have a bunch of feral cats, so they're wild, and they came from like just wandering onto our farm, and so sometimes they can be kind of like scared of us, like, but they mostly stay around because we feed them. And so, like, the Bible is like the food. It keeps us connected to God. It keeps us closer.
I love that. Jewel, do you have anything?
Yeah,
What's
I
your
really
favorite?
like cheetahs. Like, I have a lot of
Cheetahs.
cheetah clothes and stuff.
Really?
I really like
That's
cheetahs.
Why do you like cheetahs?
They're so cute. Like, the baby cheetahs are so cute.
Maybe any animal kind of just is like,
Yeah. And they're so fast and, like, cool.
they are the fastest.
They are quite fast. I think I could beat a cheetah.
I really don't think you could do that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Bro, not even the fastest man alive can beat a cheetah.
No.
That's actually funny too. I wonder if like there are cheetahs that are faster than other cheetahs. Like there would be. So how do you measure like the
Cheetah
speed
races.
of a cheetah? Because what's the speed of a man, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Everybody
I might be
has-
faster than you.
Everybody has different speeds.
Imagine
Like,
like the world's fastest cheetah.
yeah,
Crazy.
I'm not a runner, so I definitely couldn't beat a cheetah.
Dude, also not the world's fastest cheetah. So
Yeah, I'm a swimmer, so maybe I could beat a cheetah in swimming because cats don't like the water.
You know what I
Yeah.
like about the ark story is I'm thinking like trying to go and gather all of those animals
Yeah,
would be
Yeah.
like,
so fun.
which is kind of
It's
the
like
things
a cartoon
people
scheme right there.
like. I always thought, like, when I was little, this is just kind of a scientific note that I just thought of now. When I was little, I thought, how did God like get all those animals to travel across water? Because there's only certain animals that, like, in Australia has weird animals. Like they
really
got
do.
they got kangaroos that like animals that nobody else has.
Were there fish
Yeah.
on the ark?
I don't.
Like, I feel like
No.
there was no water.
Yeah.
The animals that
But-
walk on the land.
Like,
But-
just a scientific note, like, all the landforms all the continents were technically probably connected. And then they broke apart because and that's probably how the animals got there. Unless, they may have not been. I might just be wrong, and just God has a lot of power to make animals travel across the sea.
I mean,
Or just teleport.
God has a lot of power. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, that was, dude. I'm like, if the ark lands, right, and then everyone wants to like get off the boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just like find a little bit of land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dove comes back with the olive branch, and whatnot. And then we see the rainbow of like God promising never to set a flood into the earth again. That's some pretty cool stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just imagining, after all that time on a boat, I'd want to get off pretty bad.
Especially like we were just talking about the chickens and how stinky they were. Imagine how smelly it'd be on that boat.
Smelly that boat was. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they had
Yeah.
cows on that boat probably, and like cows are worse. Like,
They
yeah,
are. What about pigs?
pigs.
Gross. And there's a lot of people on that boat too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Not hard to come
I
by
wonder-
a shower though.
true. I don't think they had showers in that
It
boat
was
there.
raining.
I guess.
I guess.
But I really think, even though considering how stinky that boat was, and I'm sure a lot of them got seasickness and stuff, that's probably the safest boat in the world because it had God's protection upon it.
Oh, facts for sure.
Because like people tried to claim like they said the Titanic, not even God could sink it. Well, they were proven wrong.
You know what? I think we should try our luck.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's time for
Really bad
application.
at Lego building.
I am the leader of an I group known for its Lego building. Okay. And we've
okay.
done this in my class before, so I'm a little bit well practiced. But we are going to build boats.
I actually,
And they's gonna float.
Okay.
That's the idea anyway. Any questions? Great, let's get into it, okay?
On this one, and yeah.
I would like to see what you got. Now, here's the deal. I'm gonna build my boat, but I'm gonna build my boat so fast that I can help you guys build yours.
I'm good at like building with Legos. I'm good at building detailed, like good-looking stuff, but I can't like. I've built a lot of ships before, but I can't make things like actually like durable.
They don't have to be durable, they just have to be functional. They just have to work.
Anyways, do you think we should start now?
I think we should start like 3 minutes ago.
Okay. Anyways.
I love the sound. Hold on, I want to get that in the mic.
Legos.
Yeah, don't step on that.
Alright.
Step on the Legos and the Legos will step on you. 3, 2, 1, go! I already built my boat.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't.
I'll help you guys build yours now.
Yeah, I think my boat is finished.
You think your boat's finished? Dude, you have an engine on the front of the boat.
Yeah.
Who has the engine on the front of the boat? Isn't it only on the back side of the boat?
I'm gonna talk about that. It looks pretty.
It does look pretty fire. What did you build, Jewel?
It doesn't really have a top or anything.
It's like a bass boat.
Yeah, I feel like I could fish out of that thing. Alright,
This looks more like it'd be a ski boat.
and I built this. Actually, I just kind of found it.
It's a boat.
I don't
It
know.
last like a raft, more like.
I hope it floats, and that's kind of all we're really going for. So,
I guess.
style points was only, what do you call it? That was only bonus points.
So where's the water? Where are we gonna float it?
I'll show you. I don't want to spill this everywhere. We have a lot of expensive equipment around it.
Daniel, why didn't you put the water in before we started?
It's probably easier to carry the bucket than the tank full of water.
Yeah, but we can. I feel like
Who wants to go first?
My boat is a little holy and uneven, so my boat will probably sink.
I don't want to go first.
You don't want to go first?
I don't.
Actually, no, I think I should go first.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to
you
see
go
your
first.
boat.
Just stop. You go. Nice.
Slay.
Give it some time.
But it'll probably fill up there.
Give
Yep,
it some
it's
time.
diving.
I wonder if it's gonna go like all the way up.
It's gonna be like the Titanic. It's just gonna crack in half.
Might be comfortable.
You might
Is it
just
slowly
like
sinking? Looks like it's slowly maybe going. Jewel, why don't you throw yours in there with him?
I think that one's considered sinking.
I think it's more like it's not flying, it's falling with style.
But
you know?
Jules is sinking.
I want to see it go.
I see it go too.
Is it just gonna get under the water?
It's just gonna stop there, I think, because the back end is holding it up.
Yeah. So mine.
I don't think any of ours are gonna sink, except for
Actually,
maybe mine.
3 boats.
That's cheating.
I built this one.
That's not a boat.
It's
I
like
had one in my pocket.
Okay, then I built this one.
I built this one. Oh,
That one
Oh,
sunk
that
a little
one's
bit.
I thought the river would float.
There.
This one floats the best, which I knew it would.
Mine probably floats the worst.
Probably. But yours is the most stylish.
Yeah. But
I think Jules is the happy medium of both of our boats. Both somewhat functional and somewhat stylish. I like it.
mine's too stylish.
Definitely. I think the hot pink Lego brick's gonna.
It's the Barbie boat.
Anyways. that was pretty nice. Bluetoothed up, as a certain Pastor Abdi might say. I credited you, so don't give me the look. Anyway, Abbott, would you like to close this off?
Yep. Dear Lord, I thank you for this podcast that we get to teach people about you in kind of weird, wacky, ridiculous ways. And I pray that the kids can learn something from our sinking boats, our capsized boats, and I pray that all of them will come closer to knowing you. And I pray that the people on our boats somehow survived. Amen.
Amen.
That's a good last point. Podcast out.
That was